The youth in America has lost their damn mind. I try to keep and refrain from cursing on my channel, but good night. Uh, you know, Keeping common sense common is mostly focused on political uh, grievances and disputes between the left and the right. It doesn't matter. But whenever I came across this on Twitter, and I watched the full video, and I will not be showing the video on my channel. This is as much as you're going to get about it. But when the Missouri AG wants teen who smashed girl's head into the concrete to be charged as an adult, stating this is evil and a complete disregard for human life, and it has no place. No truer words can be said. All this next on Common Sense. Welcome to Common Sense, where we strive to keep common sense common. Today we're covering something that's a whole lot more dark and twisted than what I usually cover on my channel, but unfortunately, all the big money, big follower YouTubers, I've yet to see a single one of them cover it. Outside of Tommy Lauren, I have yet to see anyone cover this story. Maybe it doesn't fit a narrative. I don't care. This goes beyond black and white. Goes beyond racial divides. And I'm going to get into how the policies of these Democrat lowlifes has led to this actually taking place. And this is what I'm going to cover today. And I'm showing you these pictures. This girl here is beating this girl here, and if you had the unfortunate ability to see the video before it was taken down, I'm sorry for you, and I really am. But if you look, this girl is twice the size of this girl. She repeatedly punches her in the head. And then when the fight is clearly over, she has to take it a step further and smash her head repeatedly into the concrete pavement. Reportedly, the girl is in critical condition, and even if she lives, she won't be the same. Severe head trauma, severe brain trauma, the girl's life is virtually over. Whether she lives or not, her life is over. And if you look at the posture here in this lower video, or in this lower picture, you see the cross legs, the straightened out toes, the hands curled up. In the video, you could physically see her twitching. And this is just a complete to take a fight to this extent, to take it to this level, that's beyond a mere grief or beef over a boy or whatever the case may have actually started this altercation, this fight. This is hatred for this person, pure unadulterated hatred for another human life. And yes, she should be tried as an adult. You see, this is the problem. And lo and behold, as I did more research on this, as I was even debating on making a video about this, lo and behold, this is in Cori Bush's district, where she's a congresswoman for this district. And yet Cori Bush hasn't said anything about this incident. Cori Bush hasn't reached out to this young girl's family about this incident. Why? Because this is what the Democrats want. You see, when lawlessness rules, their salvation, the way they solve the problem is, well, the government needs to take control, right? Because that's what they want. They want a socialistic government. They want a totalitarian government. And the only way they can get it is to have lawlessness. That's why Cori Bush advocated so hard for the defunding of the police with the rest of the loser ass squad. I'm sorry, but things like this upset me. It really does. You know, I grew up with six brothers and we fought, but we always knew when the fight was over. And let me tell you something about fighting. If you're a young person watching this video, even though I'm going to tell you right now, my videos are not made for children. But if you're a teenager, middle teens, upper teens, young adult, whatever you want to call yourself, and you're watching my video, there are no winners in a street fight, period. I don't care who's left standing at the end of the fight, there are no winners. But this happens when lawlessness rules the day. When you defund the police, when the punishment no longer fits the crime or outweighs the crime, criminals will do shit like this. And that's what happens. And it sickens me that there are people out there with millions of viewers and nobody's covering this. It's an embarrassment. Cori Bush is an embarrassment to Congress. Let's and I want you to see this here is what we call the knockout pose, right? And I got a video here. This is of a UFC fight, controlled environment, medical doctors everywhere, referee right here standing by. I want you to see this fight, right? This is a knockout. And I want you to see the comparison between the two. Look here, right here. Eerily similar, right? Eerily similar. Legs locked, feet crossed, toes curled, pointed straight up, and one's flexed out. If it wasn't for the tape, it'd really be flexed out. Arms out to the side. But there was a ref to stop the continuing violence, right? You see the medical staff already in motion. Notice the similarities? Feet crossed, arms locked, legs locked, toes straightened. Eerily similar. The only difference is there were no refs here. There was a group of kids cheering this on and videotaping it. Their parents of this woman here should be charged, in my opinion. And let's look at Cori Bush. This is what you know, that this is the person who is a congressperson for that district, right? Let's see what she has to say, you know, in Congress. That was calculated, right? You're an embarrassment, lady. You should not be in Congress. You should not be anything in a position of power, period. You give no F's about anything. You're part of a loser ass squad. And so I wanted to do my research because unlike Democrats who just throw gaslighting and straw man arguments all over the place, I actually do my research. So I wanted to know exactly who Cori Bush was. So I pulled her up. Corianica Bush. Okay. Let's look at her affiliations over here. Democrat. Go figure. Other political affiliations. The Democratic Socialists of America. Pushing. Strongly pushing with Andrea Ocasio-Cortez for defunding the police. Right? You're an embarrassment. You should be laughed out of Congress. You should be held up for investigation and censored for your despicable racist comment in Congress today in front of millions of people. You say white supremacist president or whatever, commander-in-chief, white supremacist in chief. You're an idiot. You're worthless. You're a political hack. Definitely a DEI placement. The only reason you even got into office is the color of your skin and, you know, the fact you don't have a dangly bit between your legs. Because there's no other reason. I looked through your entire Wikipedia. You have no experience. and being in Congress. Nothing. Nothing. Looking through the whole thing. You lost here, lost here. Wasn't until you got put in progressive Democratic lawmakers. It's time to squad up. You're an embarrassment. And this poor girl's family now has to live with whatever the outcome may be of this brutal assault. And we're supposed to just say, okay, see, this is what I was telling you. This is what they want. They want a totalitarian government. On my X here, I've started writing articles. So I'm going to come over here. This is an article that I just wrote about the NYFD commissioner vows to hunt down dissenters as New York moves closer to totalitarianism. Right? And I drew a lot of conclusions, and I did research on this and what I wrote in this article to make sure that I was stating facts. And we're just going to read it real quick. The appointed fire commissioner, Laura Kavanaugh of the NYFD, has released a communication stating, I recommend that they come forward. I have been told by the commissioner it will be better for them if they come forward and we don't have to hunt them down. This statement is eerily similar to what the totalitarian government of Nazi Germany did in 1939 under the guise of breaking regulations. The same terminology used by FDNY spokesperson Jim Long. We look into those who clearly blur department regulations. To hell with the First Amendment. To hell with freedom of speech. To hell with all of that. Screw that. No. You broke regulations, so therefore we're going to hunt you down. So you better come forward. Turn yourself over. It has nothing to do with politics. It's about professionalism at an official event held in a house of worship. One of the key methods employed by the Nazi regime was the establishment of concentration camps where political opponents, along with other groups deemed undesirable by the regime, apparently these firefighters that, booed Letitia James, were imprisoned, tortured, and often killed. These camps were used not only for punishment, but also for forced labor and in some cases so-called re-education efforts aimed at indoctrinating prisoners with Nazi ideology. Sounds a whole lot about this hunt them down. When statements such as hunt them down are used against the right to free speech, we are edging closer to that totalitarian regime that took rise in 1933. What next? Concentration or re-education camps for those brave men and women that use their voice to protest a political figure that they clearly do not like. This isn't the first time re-education has been used in the past several weeks. In an interview, Hillary Clinton stated maybe there needs to be a formal deprogramming of the cult members in an interview with CNN. Hitler's regime used censorship. Seems like a whole bunch of conservative voices get censored in social platforms. And propaganda to control the flow of information and suppress dissenting voices in the media and public discourse. Opposition parties were banned, and individuals who spoke out against the regime risked arrest, imprisonment, or worse. Again, this is the Democrats' playbook on how to stay in power. Over the past several years, conservative voices have been censored and deplatformed in an effort to save them from the MAGA cultists. And if you don't conform to the narrative, then you are labeled every ist in the book. X, just fill whatever you want. Racist, sexist, misogynist, cultist, whatever. Extremist, just put whatever adjective, word, whatever it is in front of this in the book and need to be deprogrammed according to failed presidential candidate Hillary Clinton. Common sense will tell you that you have one party that wants to deprogram you, censor you, or lock you up like the J6ers, and the other party wants to make America great again, promote conservative values such as life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, individual freedoms, and states' rights. Which one do you think is more totalitarian, and which one is more American? But hey, I'm just trying to keep common sense common. I wrote that article today after seeing this, the horse manure involving that young lady who was brutally assaulted, and the fact that no one has said anything about it. But hey, let's just keep common sense common.